Hey y'all, conservative brother here, back with another daily rant. Today we're talking about Promethean Action. Promethean Action, and I got a lot to say. I got a few things to get off my chest. I think they're doing pretty impressive work, and the question of the video, which probably got you, curious, is Promethean Action a Psy Op keeping boomers on the Trump golden plantation? Is Promethean Action a psyop keeping boomers on the Trump golden plantation? Let me go Dr. Umar Johnson, repeat that a third time. Is Promethean Action a psyop keeping boomers on the Trump golden plantation? So, short answer, no. I don't believe, but I have some concerns. All right. So, Promethean Action, I'm going to go through the website and also go to the about and kind of give everybody just a little run through. I'm not about to watch. They have whole webinars, classes, articles. You got to do your own homework yourself. I kind of coined. I want to say I coined the phrase, but my attitude is these daily rants or rants when I can do them. These are a reaction to my homework. This isn't about me doing the homework and giving it to you. It's your job to do the homework. So when I come up with these reactions to the homework I've done, it's upon you to then decide, hey, I want to take another critical thinking step and go do the homework for myself. Because conservative brother just reporting back on this is the reaction to the hours, the days I spent doing the homework, attending webinars, classes, Zoom meetings in person and whatnot. All right, so Promethean Action is an organization I got first affiliated through, I think probably toward late 2024. I had done some work, or I kind of started getting involved, at least passively, with California MAGA, and this is when I was still out in California, and basically being out there and getting, I remember it was 1 year before the 2024 election. I was like, man, I gotta go make a difference. I gotta do something. So November 2023, I started looking around. I stumbled upon California MAGA, started attending their meetings. And then it wasn't too long after that I think Susan Sokokinda, I think started attending, or they've been kind of partnered together and whatnot. And I also eventually got introduced and met them when I moved back to Michigan. So I have met Susan Kakinda. I have, just for disclosure, I have encountered or attended some Zoom meetings with Mike Stagger and a couple other people over Promethean Action. So I kind of put this to say I still have questions, and like I said, I've attended some of their Zoom meetings, their webinars. It's really good stuff. But just with a lot of things going on lately with this Iran war agenda wrapping up, my concern I've kind of talked about is that while they do a great job with a bigger picture of the globalist agenda, also how a lot of it has to do with the British MI6 empire and a lot of kind of connecting the dots. I get a little nervous when there never any sort of criticism toward Trump. Like everything he's doing is part of 4D, 5D chess, trust the plan. It's like this guy like never makes mistakes. Like he's doing everything, you know? So that's just kind of been my concern. So I say this to say that once again, it's about doing your own homework. I'm just here to kind of expose you to Promethean Action. They do a lot of great work. I just think that especially between the Epstein files, the cover up basically, or just the redaction, and then the Iran war, I'm just slowly concerned about, okay, is this really part of a bigger plan, or is a lot of this just covering up for what the Trump administration is doing? So we're gonna walk through the website, and like I said, it's up to you. Like I said, they got good articles. They have classes, Zoom meetings. Feel free to check it out. But yeah, let's go see what they're about. So, about Promethean Action. This ever loads up. And once again, as this loading, guys, remember to follow Conservative Brother. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, and also Odyssey. All right, I was looking more for a paragraph. This is pretty much where they're at, where they got going on. I think Mike Staggers, former Democrat. A lot of these, like many organizations, they're displaced from different places. I'm a former politically homeless Democrat as well, so I get it. All right, so our mission, Promethean Action. We, former collaborators of Lyndon LaRouche, many for 50 years or more, founded Promethean Action organization in 2024, changing the name from LaRouche PAC Action. The Political Action Committee, LaRouche PAC, also changed the name, becoming Promethean PAC. Our intention is to apply the ideas of LaRouche, as we understand, to the profound economical, political, and cultural challenges now facing the U.S. We are not associated with or affiliated with any entity associated with Lyndon LaRouche's widow, Helga Zepp LaRouche, and her collaborators. This includes EIR, Schiller, all those other spots. In the name, in thinking about a new name for ourselves, we turn to Prometheus. It is not just because Lyndon LaRouche often invoked the poet Shelley's portrayal of Prometheus as a beloved theme. A Promethean identity is required for renewing the government people, by the people, and for the people in the moment of crisis. So to get into the mythology and all that behind it, yeah, they got a lot here. I even need to read it. So this is good for me because this is like where I need to do extra research myself. So I kind of bring this up to say, I'm not about to read this all for you. It's not my job to do the homework for you. It's my job to give you my reaction to the homework or the stuff I've already done. And this reminds me to do even more research. So once again, they come from a pretty solid foundation, you know, as far as like at least explaining what they got going on. And once again, you got some comments here. So I'm just gonna kind of go into one of their articles. We'll just pick the latest one they got going on. Because like I said, it's your job to do more of the research. And like I mentioned, is Promethean Action a Psy Op keeping boomers on Trump golden plantation? My opinion, short answer, no. But I do have some concerns. All right, so we got the Monday brief right here, just from yesterday. The Monday brief, no more Mr. Nice Guy, Trump's Iran ultimatum, and London's hidden war on Vance exposed. Barbara Boyd, Barbara exposes how a City of London linked propaganda network is targeting J.D. Vance to derail the Iran peace talks and damage Trump before the midterms, while Trump warns no more Mr. Nice Guy and DOJ close in on the Russiagate insurrection. So I'm going to try and skim through maybe these three articles. So we'll go through here, check these out real quick. Like I said, it's up on you to read all this on your own. All right. Oh, they got full video. Okay. Barbara Boyd previews renewed Iran peace negotiations in Islamabad ahead of a ceasefire deadline as Iran allegedly challenged a U.S. naval blockade, lost a ship, and again closed the Strait of Hormuz, with Trump warning no more Mr. Nice Guy. If peace fails and arguing Iran is bleeding 500 million a day, she shows the City of London-linked propaganda network is working to prolong the war and damage Trump before the midterms by targeting Vice President J.D. Vance, citing a Financial Times column by Edward Luce and post-Munich Security Conference smears portraying Vance as a pro-Putin. Boyd also outlines three layers of Iran-linked messaging, Press TV in London, and NIAC in Washington, and Iran Experts Initiative infiltration as U.S. think tanks, and says justice is coming via prosecutions led by Joseph de Genova, with Kash Patel promising arrest, while Vance lead talks in the National Fraud Task Force. I still got some problems with Kash Patel. I think Kyle Seraphin, he did a really good sort of segment on Kash Patel, his sort of shady background, his lavish lifestyle, running around with a jet and some sugar daddy in Vegas. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff he unpacks. And this was months before, you know, the little Atlantic BS news piece. Atlantic is garbage. They're making up some stuff about him drinking. Maybe he does drink, but most of Washington does. But I think anything about the dirt on Kash Patel, Kyle Seraphin did a good job kind of exposing that. Atlantic, their piece is just garbage. And, like, you know, all these politicians drink. Who cares? So this is a good video to maybe check out. Like I said, check it out and just weigh it. You know, weigh it against, you know, California MAGA, weigh it against your other left or moderate resources. You know, check it out. Here's another one from Susan Kokinda. Saturday wrap-up, Economic Fury. And once again, there's a lot of things out there. I'm still not feeling this Iran war, but like I said, they bring a good perspective. I'm all about the big picture, exposing the globalist perspective, because it isn't just Israel and Netanyahu just behind everything. Russia's got a hand in it. The British MI6, the British monarchy, really, they for the last 100 years, they've sort of, played the hand of, oh no, we're just a passive monarchy in Britain. We have nothing to do with what's going on. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth, they were still pulling the cards. Prince Charles is, or King Charles. So they do a great job at giving us a bigger picture of it. I just once again get nervous when, oh, Trump could do no wrong. He's doing all this 5D chat. I feel like they're using him in some ways. There's some things he's smart about, and there's some things that Trump's getting it wrong. But I think Promethean Action, they've been around long enough, whether they've been co-opted or infiltrated or not, they can at least give you a fuller perspective on all the different pieces. So even if you don't agree with everything about what they're saying, like I don't agree with the whole Trump can do no wrongs piece, they do a great job with at least giving you a bigger picture of what's going on, even if it may leave you a little confused, one and more. All right, so Saturday wrap up, economic fury, why Trump's warning went only to Britain. April 18th, 2026. Iran was never the target. The British imperial system is. But since economic fury meeting with UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves, the end of Lloyd in London's pricing racket, and the Hudson's Institute Hail Mary plan, send King Charles to save the special relationship. So 11-minute read here, and then another YouTube video. I'll just read this first part. Susan Kokinda argues that the recent U.S. actions framed as confronting Iran are actually aimed at dismantling the British imperial financial and geopolitical system. She cites Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's April 16th meeting with Chancellor Rachel Reeves, highlighting the on-record economic fury plan campaign and the U.S. tracking of financial flows to Iran that allegedly lead to London. The episode shows Trump is ending a decades-old world extortion model tied to the Strait of Hormuz, Lloyd's war risk insurance, and London's commodity price power gold metals, and oil benchmarks. It also points to an Israeli-Lebanese ceasefire and Trump prohibiting Israeli strikes, arguing this removes Netanyahu's leverage built on a perpetual Iran threat, with London's pricing nods shifting toward New York and the special relationship weakening. The Hudson Institute said it would be pinning hopes on a King Charles visit to the U.S. So, a lot of big picture there. Read the whole article, watch the whole video. That's what I need to do as well. So I'm not all, so you guys conservative, y'all expect me to be super extreme or go full Candace or be full Ben Shapiro. I question everybody. I don't agree with 100% of what anybody says. So I ask questions, and I ask to dig a little deeper and poke a hole at some stuff. Even include organizations I'm personally familiar with or met people from. So Promethean Action, once again, this last article will just preview new pamphlet, Bye Bye Globalism, The American System is Back, written by Hunter Cobb, Mike Stagger, Benjamin Denniston, Tony Papper, and Susan Kokinda. The American system built this nation, and now it's back. This pamphlet tells the story of American President Trump's economic revolution in the words of the people making it happen, from tariffs to industry to fusion power and space. Let's see. Okay, download a copy. Okay, well, I can read this last part, then we'll wrap it up. What is President Trump actually building, and why is the opposition so fierce? The answer has a name most Americans were never taught in school: the American system, developed by Alexander Hamilton, advanced by Lincoln McKinley, and suppressed for over a century. The American system was the economic philosophy that built the most powerful industrial nation in history. Thanks to President Trump, now it's back. Promethean Action's new pamphlet, Bye Bye Globalism, American System is Back, tells a story in the words of the people making it happen. President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Vice President Vance, Trade Representative Greer, and others, together they reveal an administration that knows exactly what it's doing and why. Inside, you'll find the Trump administration explaining to the American people how the globalist free trade system deliberately deindustrialized America and the conscious decision to reverse it, the American system of economy, tariffs, credit, infrastructure, and the philosophy behind them, the revolution underway across government, from trade and energy to the EPA and the frontiers of fusion and space. The concrete results already taking shape: new steel mills, aluminum smelters, shipyards, auto plants, nuclear reactions in the race to fusion power. This isn't theory. Billions of dollars in new industrial investment are already flowing. Factories are going up. Jobs are coming back, and it's only the beginning. Download and share the pamphlet and arm yourself with a full picture of the American system revolution underway. All right. So, once again, the golden question, literally golden question. Is Promethean Action a Psy Op keeping boomers on the Trump golden plantation? My opinion, short answer, no, I don't think so, but I do have some concerns. But I encourage you guys to do your own research. Like I said, these videos or this channel, Conservative Brother channel, is me doing all homework and then spoon feeding you cliff notes. I react to the homework, and then you can decide whether you want to pick the red pill and do more investigation for yourself. All right? So with that in mind, y'all, I will see you guys next time. Conservative Brother, remember to stay awake, not woke, and I'll see you next time.